Abe Lincoln, 16th President of our United States, and a great president he was, ruled by common sense and logic. But there's a few things about Abe Lincoln perhaps you don't know, and that is, old Abe, he was quite the ladies' man. Indeed, you know, we called old Abe the rail splitter back in the old days. What you may not know is that rail was actually a euphemism for a lady's leg. So when we said old Abe was a rail splitter, what we really were saying was old Abe, he was splitting a lot of legs in his time. Yes, sir. Whereupon it was brought to my attention, and I had to ask Abe, I said, Abe, how is it that given your libertine and licentious ways, that you do not have a great plethora of little Abes and Abettes prancing around the countryside naked as the day they was born? And old Abe, he said to me, good sir, if you would kindly examine the stovepipe hat that I wear upon my noggin. Whereupon I did take the noggin, or take rather the hat off of Abe's noble melon. I examined said stovepipe hat, and I am here to tell you that that stovepipe hat was not only ribbed, but was lubricated as well, and had a reservoir tip hidden on top. Yes, sir, I am telling you that Abe's stovepipe hat actually doubled as a condom. Now, that is a little-known fact. You hear it here first. Now, at this point, you might well ask, now, great a man as Abe was, how exactly did he fill a stovepipe hat? I am here to tell you that back in olden days, men were mightier and bigger, and old Abe, when aroused, had the dimensions and girth and thickness and length of none other than a mighty Illinois oak, and that is the dead truth, yes, sir. Now, as Abe often went about gallivanting with his stovepipe hat, I had occasion to ask, Abe, there is a delicate matter of, shall we say, feminine accommodation. Because, of course, a stovepipe hat and Abe's prodigious member was of prodigious size, as it were, and would likely tear a woman in half. Well, as to the matter of feminine accommodation, I can only say it's complicated, and we'll leave it at that. And that, in fact, my friends, pretty much ends my story of Abraham Lincoln. I hope you've learned a little something that you can take and pass on to your grandchildren. I have other stories. In fact, there is a story about the great George Washington, and there is the story of how he would take those famous wooden dentures of his, combined with a generous helping of beef tongue, and shall we say, cunningly amuse Martha in the boudoir. But that, of course, is a story for another time. I hope to live to tell you. Thank you so much for your attention. Good night.